I have this saying that, you have to learn to speak someone else's language for them to truly feel understood. My name is Trevon Coleman. I am a second year in the MFA program at the University of Iowa in film and video production. And yeah, I'm a Black American. If you think of conventional narratives following a particular structure, ways of editing, this cuts to this, tells the story in this way so that audiences have a start, beginning, a middle and an end. For me, I'm more interested in kind of what the camera sees. So I'm playing with exposure. I'm playing with frame to frame changes. I'm interested in the way editing can be used to disrupt a narrative. And all of this is contextualized between experimenting with convention. I've made films where I don't know what the actors are saying because they're speaking in languages that I don't understand. But in that film, you still get the point, you get the idea across.
你等我先把那个相机调好了啦，要得不
אני יודעת, זה מאוד נחמד, מאוד יפה, אבל אנחנו כאילו...
I guess a simple way to put it is I like not knowing what the end is going to be when I'm working on it. I want to learn through the process of making. I have a body of work that's called like the Super Series. And that began as a response to a professor I had who misread a work. It was a self-portrait, and I was like baring teeth, showing teeth. It was, and I exaggerated it. They made a comment about Blackness and showing teeth, and I was very taken aback. They were not a Black professor. And I was like, what are you saying? And so they likened showing the teeth to being angry, and to horses when they get angry and showing their teeth, or donkeys. And I was like, that one is rude. You hear yourself, you're equating, Blackness to animal. I began making works that question the spaces I was in and how they were interpreting Blackness. So that work basically, in a nutshell, it's doing a lot of other things, but in a nutshell, it's giving you superhero iconography. So your brain as a viewer goes, oh, superhero movie, but none of the heroes have powers. There's no, explosions or crazy fight scenes. There's nothing really exciting happening in the film at all. So if that's the case for the superhero film, what's the case for your idea of what Black people accomplish for your imagination? My identity is wrapped up in that, how are you seeing me, basically, is what I'm asking. But I actually say my first film is an experimental piece that I did collaborating with hula hoop dancers. We're talking about how the camera looks at the figure, and we're talking about how the camera ignores racialized bodies in ways. So it is a piece that's pretty difficult in terms of, you watch it and you're like, wait, are there like things happening here that like are not cool? And that's one of the things that we talked about in putting the piece together, making the audience aware of their gaze. I'm making some work right now that is likening this conversation around Blackness to like climate change, because it's so big. How do you define it for people? You know what I mean? You've created this thing that is now bigger than you, and you can't control it, you can't contain it, you can't stop the change from happening. But I say that and you go, well, climate change is like destroying the world, why would you associate Blackness with it? Well, because there's a world that was built around exclusion, and there's a way to tear it down and destroy that world and rebuild something else.